how you can use custom code to create leverage for your business. First of all, what do I mean by leverage? So if you look at the dictionary definition of leverage as it relates to finance and business, it generally refers to, using borrowed money to enhance an investment so that you can make more at the back end of the investment than you would if you just had, your own money. So you're leveraging debt to create a bigger return in the end. Now, in traditional business thinking, that's exactly what leverage is. It's debt to finance investment. But if you break out of that little box, leverage can actually be much more than that. So Alex Hormozi has the four C's of leverage that he talks about. Capital being the one we just mentioned, the traditional way of thinking of it. Collaboration in terms of being able to get other people to do things for you. So now instead of just you doing work, you have people who are doing work on your behalf. And so that is leveraging people capital, if you will, to get more work done. There's content. So putting stuff out there that can be viewed millions of times and get attention over years and years and years. It's done one time, but it gets used multiple times. And then there's code, which you can use to create something one time, in theory, that gets used multiple times, thousands of times, millions of times even. So Facebook is a great example of this last one, code, which we're going to talk more about today, where you have Mark Zuckerberg and his crew create a set of code one time, in theory, that gets used by hundreds of millions of, if not billions of people over and over again, and they don't have to do any additional work for all these people to use it over and over and over again. So you have this limited amount of work that gets done that can be reused an unlimited number of times in a way that generates money over and over and over and over again for Facebook. So that is taking code and using it as leverage to create value that keeps paying you back over and over again. And that's actually number one in terms of creating SaaS. So when people think about using code for leverage, that's what they think of, is the Facebook example or any number of apps. You name an app, that's another example of using SaaS to create leverage, in which you create something, one time in theory, and then you're able to get value from it over and over again without having to do a lot of additional work. Obviously, in practice, you have to continue to update your code. That's still a limited amount of effort that you have to put in to get a lot more out the back end. So that's number one. So that is one of the ways that you should think about applying this to your service business. So there could be ways to take what you do and turn it into a SaaS entirely, or you can use it to maybe as a supplement to what you do. So maybe the main service is delivered by you or your staff directly, but there's a sub element to it that gets delivered by SaaS so that you have all sorts of levels of service covered to your customers. Or again, if you have an idea or a service like a Facebook that you can just turn directly into a SaaS and it's all delivered that way, that's the ultimate way to create a SaaS, create value, and just get leverage in terms of the return from that over and over again without having to do a lot of additional work. Now, the second way I want you to think about it is using an internal app. So sometimes this gets overlooked because there are so many off-the-shelf apps that you can use for CRMs, for marketing, for sales, for customer delivery, customer service, all kinds of apps out there. But sometimes you have a unique process, unique way of doing things that really isn't captured in an existing app. And if you are able to create an internal app that helps you and your staff deliver your product in a streamlined way over and over again, that can actually help you scale up what you do internally so that you cut your costs, you're able to serve more customers, you're able to serve them at a higher quality level. And now what was, taking 10 people to do in a week, you're able to do with 2 people in a day, and you're able to serve many more people. And now you have something that you can deliver much further and wider than you would have otherwise. So that's another way to use code as leverage in your business to be able to create more value with less effort. Okay, so those are the two ways I want you to think about using custom code in your business to create more value, to create leverage. So number one, if there's any way to turn your service into a SaaS, that's a no-brainer. Limited inputs, scale up your outputs, you're getting way more value to your customers, and most likely you're getting a lot more income, a lot more revenue, top line into your business. Number two, which is a little bit less thought about, is creating an internal app that helps you deliver your high quality results. So if there's a way to take your unique process and maybe turn that into an internal app that helps your staff deliver the results that you need to deliver over and over again in a consistent, high quality way, that can actually help you increase your capacity, reduce your cost, and also help you scale up, not to the same degree as a SaaS, but absolutely help you increase your output with less input, which ultimately results in more money in your pocket. So those are the two ways. If you got anything out of this today, I'd appreciate a subscription if you're on YouTube, or a like down below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.